Mohamed Salah's words traveled faster than anyone inside Liverpool Football Club could have expected. What was meant to be an honest, raw expression of frustration following the Leeds match instead exploded into a full-scale storm that engulfed the club, the manager, the dressing room, and English football as a whole. In the space of a few minutes in front of the cameras, Salah managed to trigger a debate that went far beyond his own starting place, touching on authority, legacy, ego, transition, and what it truly means to be Liverpool's talisman in a new era under Arne Slot. 2 weeks on, the dust has begun to settle. The noise has softened. The outrage cycles have moved on to the next talking point. And inside the walls of the AXA training center, something far more important happened quietly, without microphones or headlines. Mohamed Salah apologized. It wasn't a public statement. There was no carefully worded social media post, no PR-crafted apology sent out into the world. Instead, it was done face-to-face, man-to-man, teammate to teammate. Curtis Jones, one of Liverpool's own, a player who lives the club rather than merely plays for it, has now lifted the lid on what really happened behind closed doors. Speaking to Sky Sports, Jones offered an insight that cut through the noise and reminded everyone why dressing room dynamics are rarely as dramatic as they appear from the outside. According to Jones, Salah addressed the squad directly, acknowledging that his words may have affected others, even if that was never his intention. Mo is his own man, and he can say his own stuff, Jones explained, calm, measured, and honest. He apologized to us and was like, if I've affected anybody or made you feel any sort of way, I apologize. That's the man that he is. Those words matter. They matter because they come from inside the room, not from speculation, not from pundit panels, not from former players projecting their own experiences onto a completely different situation. They come from a teammate who saw the reaction unfold, who felt the ripple effect, and who also witnessed the resolution. Salah's original comments had been explosive precisely because of who he is. This isn't a fringe player unhappy with minutes. This is Liverpool's modern-day icon, a man whose goals have defined an era, whose numbers rival the very best in Premier League history, whose silhouette feels permanently etched into Anfield's skyline. When Mohamed Salah speaks, people listen. And when he speaks critically, people react. Standing in front of the press after being benched for the third time in a short period, Salah spoke of feeling disconnected. He spoke of a relationship with Arne Slot that he claimed did not exist. He spoke of feeling as though he had been thrown under the bus. Those phrases were replayed endlessly. Screenshots, clips, headlines, thumbnails, all repeating the same narrative: crisis, fallout, rift. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. Former players weighed in. Rival fans laughed. Media outlets debated whether Salah's time at Liverpool was coming to an end. Some questioned Slot's authority. Others questioned Salah's professionalism. The situation grew legs, arms, and a life of its own. Inside the dressing room, though, the picture was very different. Jones was clear that Salah's apology was genuine, direct, and reflective of the standards Liverpool players hold themselves to. There was no sense of division, no lingering resentment, no cold shoulders. If anything, the incident highlighted exactly why elite players behave the way they do. He's got his own stuff going on. That's his issue. I don't even know if it's an issue, but that's his own thing. That line is revealing. It suggests that within the squad, Salah's frustration was understood, contextualized, even expected. Elite athletes want to play. Winners hate sitting on the bench. This isn't a flaw, it's a requirement at the highest level. Jones went further, explaining that Salah's reaction wasn't unique, nor was it malicious. As I said, he's his own man, and I don't like to be in another man's business. I can only speak from me knowing Mo and how he is with us, and how he acted on that. He was positive as well. That positivity matters.
because if Salah had returned to training sulking, withdrawn, or disruptive, the story would have been very different. But according to Jones, nothing changed. He was the exact same Mo, he said. He had a big smile on his face, and everybody was exactly the same with him. In many ways, that might be the most important takeaway of all. The dressing room didn't fracture. The squad didn't split into camps. There was no silent rebellion against the manager, no erosion of trust. The issue surfaced, was addressed, and then moved past, quickly, maturely, and internally. Jones also touched on something that often gets lost in these debates: the difference between frustration born of selfishness and frustration born of competitiveness. "I guess it's just part of wanting to be a winner, and I don't think he will be the last," he said. That line could apply to almost every elite footballer who has ever played the game. Winners demand more, from themselves, from teammates, from managers. They push boundaries. They question decisions. Sometimes they speak out before thinking through the consequences, but the intent is rarely to harm the collective. Jones even flipped the narrative entirely, suggesting indifference would be far more concerning. "I get that there are certain ways you can go about things," he admitted, "but if a lad's fine to just be on the bench and he doesn't want to play because he wants to help the team, then I think that's more of an issue." In other words, apathy is the enemy, not anger, not frustration, not even confrontation. A player who doesn't care whether he starts or sits is a player who has lost the edge required at the top level. Salah, for all the controversy, clearly hasn't lost that edge. Jones was honest enough to include himself in the conversation, acknowledging that emotional reactions aren't exclusive to Salah. "When there's been any sort of anger from us, including myself, it's always been from a good place." That honesty matters, because footballers are human. They react in the moment. They feel disappointment. They express themselves imperfectly. "In the moment, it might not have come out in the right way," he continued, "but it's never been to ever affect the team, the staff, the manager, anybody like that." That sentiment undercuts much of the external narrative that painted Salah's comments as selfish or damaging. Inside the club, the intention was understood, and once the message was delivered, the apology followed. We're past that now. We're gelling well as a team, playing well, and we're starting to win games. That final line is crucial. Results heal wounds. Momentum quiets noise. And Liverpool's performances since the Leeds controversy suggest a squad that has moved forward, not one stuck replaying old grievances. Arne Slot, for his part, has been careful, measured, and quietly authoritative throughout the episode. When Salah returned to the matchday squad against Brighton, Slot's actions spoke louder than any press conference could have. Salah was included. He was trusted. He was introduced as the first substitution. No punishment, no public shaming, just football. When asked about the situation before Salah departed for the Africa Cup of Nations, Slot made it clear that as far as he was concerned, the matter was closed. "I said last week, actions speak louder than words," Slot told reporters. That philosophy